And hello, people! This is your host, Terraria Axel here, and welcome to Terraria Walkthrough Season 2. That's right, we're actually bringing this series back. It was previously the longest series on my channel before I ended it like an idiot, and now we're returning to it majestically. So, in this series, I am going to be going through the different things on how to progress in Terraria. However, I will not be holding your hand through everything. This game does require a little bit of creativity in the mindular region, so you're going to have to think outside the box for some things. I'm just going to show you like the basic premise as I go along through the series. So, let's hit the single player button. Ka-chunk. Now we're going to create a new character. It lets you change all of his features. So let's go ahead and make the hair bright yellow. And maybe give him, I don't know. I'm looking for one, but I haven't found it yet. Where are you? There we go. We're going to make him a Super Saiyan. So there we have that. His eyes are supposed to be very blue. Then his skin can remain the same because the skin doesn't really change much. And then we're going to want the shirt color to be orange. And the undershirt to be bright blue. And then the pants can be orange. And the shoes can be blue yet again. And that's going to be our guy. Now, they have a few different styles, but I think... Oh, I didn't know that that one existed. I think this one is the most fitting. We've gone over everything. Now they have 3 modes. Softcore, medium core, and hardcore. We're going to be going for softcore. It only drops money on your death. Medium core, you drop all your items on death. Hardcore characters die for good. Softcore is what we're going to be going for. Now we're going to hit create and put in your character name. This guy is going to be named Slurp. I don't know why I chose that word. It was just the first thing that popped into my mind. So where is Slurp? Slurp the majestic, what do you call it? Goodness, I've made too many characters. I really should separate them. Sloople, Slurp. There you are. I've named my character some pretty interesting things. That was strange. My dog just ran in here like she was being chased by something evil. So now that you create it, I'm going to create a medium world because it's nice and normal. And then we're going to have to begin by selecting the difficulty of the world. Now you can select expert or normal, but since we are not experts here, I'm showing you how to play the game. You don't know how to play the game yet. We're going to go with normal. Now, pick world evil. I didn't know that you could pick that now. So we're going to pick classic. Well, what did we do? Last season we did corruption, so this season we're going to do crimson. World name is going to be Slurpville. Alright, now this is going to take a second to generate, and while it's going, I'll talk to you about it. When you begin the game, the first thing you do, sort of like in Minecraft, you're going to chop down trees to get wood. But then the next step is exploration rather than building a house, at least for me. You can build a house right off the bat, but I always like to go exploring as soon as I start playing. That's just a personal thing. However, a lot of times it'll end up progressing you in the game much further than if you spend a whole bunch of time on the house and then go exploring. It'll launch you far into the game. You want to go cave exploring because there's almost no downside to dying unless you're worried about the money that you have. So let's look until we see Slurpville. There it is. There we go. And here we are. I'm not using the right lighting. Why? They have a bunch of different types of lighting in this. Multi-core lighting? 4 cores. There we go. And so, what I said about chopping down the trees. You can look at any one of these tree blocks and start chopping from there. But what you want to do is chop from the middle base, because that will get rid of the entire tree and give you all of that. The controls are really simple, just WASD, and it's a back and forth side scroller, as you can tell. So you're going to want to chop down a few trees right here at the beginning, because you want to have a big old backlog. Okay, so let's come over here. These mushrooms are going to be your beginning healing items. So when something damages you, you can hit the H button and it'll automatically use it, or you can manually scroll your inventory to the mushroom to use it. Let's see. Let's go exploring now. For the slimes, you're probably going to want to use your axe to attack them. As you can see, when you hover over them, it tells you the amount of health that they have. And your guide over here is willing to help you out with fighting. And I should probably talk about him. His name is Seth, at least in this case. And he can tell you exactly what you have to do to move on. Well, not exactly. He's going to give you a vague answer to all of your questions. As well as if you find a new material, if you hit the crafting and put it in here, it'll show you all the things you can craft with it, the crafting station required, and stuff like that. However, we don't really need him at the moment. Alright guys, welcome back, and sorry for that slight interruption. We found some taller trees here, so let's go ahead and chop those down. They're going to get us a ton more wood. I'm very glad that they added that feature to not to chop down anything, to choose whether you want a Crimson or Corruption world. That biome will pretty much dictate a little bit of the progression in this game. So this first episode, I just want to get set up, maybe do a little bit of cave exploration. Now you may have noticed there's some lead over here. We actually probably want that. A quick way to mine things is by turning on the auto mine, but I don't remember what button I set that to. So I'm just going to mine it normally. You just hover your mouse cursor over it with your pickaxe. And the tools in this game do not have durability like they do in Minecraft. They're infinite because of how hard they are to make in contrast to Minecraft. Of course, it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to what materials are do what. Like what cobblestone does, what lead ore looks like. We have 10. That might be enough for something. I'm not sure, though. I need to figure out what I changed that auto mine key to. Okay, let's see. Let's chop down one more tree. We have 238 wood currently. I just can't stress enough how important it is that you have wood. Now, here we have a body of water. You should keep in mind that you can't swim at all. Like, it makes you float, I guess, a little bit. But you can't swim, so you want to keep on climbing up and doing stuff like that. Now, here is actually a place where it would be useful to have certain things, like wooden platforms. Sorry, let me get a little bit closer to the microphone. Alright, so the wooden platforms, you get 2 from 1 piece of wood. 12 should be enough. The way you craft things in this game is you just have this really little scrolly bar on the side of this screen, and that is how you navigate all of your crafting. As you get close to crafting objects, it'll show up with new crafting recipes, so you don't have to worry about right-clicking them or anything. So let's head down this hill, and we have our first item containment vessel, also known as pots. We also have a cave, so we're gonna explore that. 24 torches. That should be plenty enough. So now I'm going to share with you something very useful in this game. When you hold shift, it will use the proper tool for the job. So if your mouse is hovering over just a background like this, it'll take out a torch. If it's hovering over a tree, it'll take out an axe. There's a sand slime over here, but we don't want to deal with him right now. So let's place torches as we go into the cave. Ooh, that was a strange lag spike. We're getting a bunch of stuff from these pots, and I'm going to explain that all in a moment. Oh, but we have our first chest. That's going to be pretty significant, hopefully, depending on what's in it. But these caves like this can expand a very large amount. Let's see. Is there anything over here? Nope, just more pots. But we do want to light up the cave rather than just holding the torches. Because, oh, that's very useful. So what we have here is a hasty aglet. You can put that into your accessories by just right-clicking it, and as you can see, you have 5% increased movement speed. And how it says hasty, that's a modifier on it, and that increases it by another 3%. We also have these grenades here. That'll be a very useful weapon if we come across any tough mobs. Here we have these lesser healing potions, which restore much more life than these mushrooms. So we're going to have those at the first in our hotbar. We have swiftness potions, which do 25% increased movement speed for 4 minutes. And recall potions, which teleport you to your spawn. We have ropes, which you can climb up, and if you go here, you can craft them into a rope coil that you can throw to get a climbable coil of ropes. So let's keep exploring now. So we've passed the area where there's a background. We're now actually underground. That thing that I just destroyed was a boulder. You want to make sure that you destroy any of those that you see, because they are not the most safe things in the world. Alright, so let's go over here now, because I see something that's going to be extremely useful. Let's make a few more of those wooden platforms. Okay, and hop up here. This is a heart crystal. If we destroy this, it'll give us a life crystal, which increases your maximum life by 20 when you eat it. This is very useful. You can get enough of these to bring your life up to 400 health. So we don't have a very large limit. I see a chest down here. Breathing rod. Nice. All of these items that I'm talking about do have tooltips, so you don't have to worry. Well, that was one of those boulders I was talking about. I'll come back when we're back to this spot, and I can explain a bit more about exactly what's going on. Alright, guys, welcome back. So we're back in here, and we stepped on a pressure plate, and that's what let down that big old boulder to kill us. Okay. I destroyed the one chest that we found leading into here, and I'm going to destroy this water chest too, because you can place them down and use them for your own selfish needs. Let's see. So there's a blue slime there. I'd prefer to avoid him, but it's not looking like we can. Yay, we killed it. I used the shurikens because they do a lot of damage. Ooh, we have 2 gold chests. Gold chests give much better loot than their wooden counterparts. Alright, let's hop up here, and we can place a torch in there so we can see exactly what's going on. That worm thing just burrows through the earth. Not much that you need to pay attention to there. You can go ahead and mine the gold chest pretty easily. It's not going to be a big problem. Let's light up this small room. Oop, that wooden table will be later, so we're going to take that. That guy's just going to keep digging around. It'll inconvenience us a little, but not too much. If we come across lead, we're going to want to mine that for a few reasons. Alright, we're just going to run away, because running away is almost always the answer. Alright. So things are getting interesting now. I'm not going to explore very much more into that cave because we aren't finding much stuff. But it is nighttime, So we can build a house if we want. However, we'd have to fight off the baddies of the night. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come right over here and I'm just going to dig a hole in the ground. Sort of like in Minecraft how you dig your little hidey holes. Let's go ahead and dig over here. I'm thankful that we don't see any of the monsters yet that usually appear. Now there's a few steps to making a proper house in the ground, and what I mean by a proper house is a house that NPCs will move into. It has to be so tall. Sorry about that interruption yet again. So you also have to make the floors out of wood or some form of block, but you have to place it, otherwise it won't work. Also, I figured out what my auto mine key was. It was the tilde. I don't remember why I changed it to that, but I'm thankful that I did. It's very convenient. Alright, I can jump out of that, but monsters can't jump in, and that's what's important. I'm not sure if monsters can go through platforms. If they can, that's inconvenient for me, but I'm just going to go ahead, build up a little thing up here, and build it over. Alright, so now we have our first house almost. Now we are going to need to craft a crafting table. Oops, I have auto pause on. Let me fix that. So I'm going to place my crafting table down, let's say here. Then, what's the next step? Well, I don't have the proper amount of nearly anything that I need. So we're going to go ahead and proceed with the next step in building a house, and that's to put on back walls. So let's go ahead and start spamming these back walls here. Now, you may be wondering, why on earth do you need this? There's walls down there made of dirt. Well, that's because anything placed by the player does not work. It has to be new. I mean, it has to be... Blech. Why am I so wrong all the time? And I just blew myself. Alright, so anything that's suitable for a house has to be placed by the player. So those back walls won't work. We're going to have to take them out. And to do that, we're going to need a hammer. But first, let's place ourselves a door, because I don't fancy intruders. Nope, we accidentally placed some walls on the outside. That's fine. Let's make the hammer. And we're also going to want this wooden sword, because it actually does more than this copper short sword we got. There we go. So now we are going to take out this wall with this wooden hammer. I'm going to speed that bit up so that you don't have to see how painfully slow it is. And I guess that's going to start right about now. Alright, welcome back. Did I actually break these walls? Thankfully, the auto place works for walls, and it works much quicker than normal. Well, normal placing. So, our first house, you might think, oh, surely there can't be more than this. Alas, there is. So, we're going to need a chair there, and that qualifies this almost as a house. We're going to need a door. You need a door to actually complete a house, otherwise it doesn't count. So let's just dig a little partition over here and fill this in. And then place ourselves a door. And that makes this a house. Now we also have that table from earlier. That will work instead of a crafting table and chair. So I'm just going to place that and a table. And that makes 2 houses for us. And now we get to wait out the night. That fallen star will be useful later, but I don't feel like going over exactly what that does right now. I'm going to go ahead in this episode of the Terraria walkthrough here. I really hope you're enjoying what's the Season 2 is happening of so far. There's a few things that I want to say before I go, though. You may be wondering why this video is here instead of Morning Modded Minecraft. And that's not because Morning Modded Minecraft is ending. There's no way I'm ending that series. However, it is on a break, as I promised a few episodes ago. And the reason for that is because I'm finding it to be very difficult to keep up with one episode consistent every week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a backlog of episodes so that I can be sure that I'll have enough episodes for multiple weeks without having to wonder whether I'll be able to stay consistent with it. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. Thank you a ton for watching this first new episode of a new/old series. I hope you enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.